As a new leader takes the helm as President of the United States, tensions with China have escalated to new heights. These two technological powerhouses have been locked in a silent rivalry for years. Now the U.S. has unveiled a game-changing innovation, a laser-equipped aircraft carrier that would defeat China's growing drone threat. What groundbreaking capabilities does this advanced system offer, and could it shift the balance in this ongoing power struggle? Join us as we unveil the U.S.'s new laser aircraft carrier that is ready to beat China. 52 years ago, former U.S. President Richard Nixon visited China, an event that defined history and marked a major turning point in the relationship between the two nations. However, ties between the two nations have grown strained since then. Despite several diplomatic meetings over the past year, including talks in Alaska and Tianjin, little progress has been made. The summit between Chinese President Xi Jinping and U.S. President Joe Biden was more positive in tone, but mainly resulted in plans for further discussions on key topics like strategic stability. One area of cooperation has been climate change, but tensions remain high elsewhere. After the summit, the U.S. announced a diplomatic boycott of the Beijing Olympics, added more Chinese companies to its trade restriction list, and passed a bill targeting forced labor in Xinjiang. Deep disagreements over security, economics, technology, and ideology have hardened, leaving little room for easing tensions. Analysts Paul Henley and Sam Bresnick explore how the two sides can move forward. Under former U.S. President Donald Trump, U.S.-China relations became more confrontational, and President Biden has largely continued this approach, though with a calmer tone and a focus on working with allies. The U.S. has long been concerned about China's economic practices, military growth, and human rights issues, hoping that China would become more democratic through engagement with the world. However, this has not happened, and many are frustrated with China's state-controlled economy, its actions in the South China Sea, and its increasing authoritarianism. Despite international criticism, Chinese President Xi Jinping remains confident in China's system and its future, believing that time and momentum are on China's side. Some Chinese officials also see the U.S. as a declining power, struggling with internal issues like racial justice and political division. Meanwhile, public opinion in both countries is increasingly distrustful, with Americans seeing China as a competitor and the Chinese viewing the U.S. unfavorably. The two countries' differing views on their relationship contribute to the deadlock. China wants peaceful coexistence based on shared principles, while the U.S. frames the relationship as a rivalry marked by competition and confrontation. These conflicting perspectives have led to strong policy responses from both sides. The U.S. views China's actions as a threat to global security and democracy, while China sees the U.S. as trying to suppress its rise. As tensions grow between the United States and China, the South China Sea has become a key focus of global attention. Any conflict in the region would likely hinge on the naval strength of both nations. While the U.S. Navy operates a superior fleet of 11 aircraft carriers, China only has 3: the Liaoning, the domestically produced Shandong, and the more advanced Fujian. Despite this numerical disadvantage, China is investing heavily in developing missiles capable of sinking large warships, reflecting its strategic response to United States aircraft carrier dominance. This emphasis dates back to events like the 1995 Third Taiwan Crisis. As Taiwan approached its first democratic presidential election, Beijing opposed Taiwan's growing autonomy and responded with military exercises and missile tests to intimidate the island. In a show of power, the U.S. deployed 2 aircraft carriers, USS Independence and USS Nimitz, near Taiwan, forcing China to back down. The incident emphasizes the U.S. Navy's carrier-based strength, which continues to challenge Beijing's regional ambitions. To counter this, China has developed missiles like the DF-26B, an intermediate-range ballistic missile introduced in 2015. This 2-stage, solid-fueled missile can hit targets up to 2,500 miles away and engage moving ships using its active terminal seeker technology. Additionally, the DF-21D, often called the world's first anti-ship ballistic missile, has a range of about 1,000 miles and has undergone numerous upgrades since its debut nearly 30 years ago. Together, these weapons highlight China's focus on targeting U.S. carriers to level the playing field. In a potential conflict, the U.S. Navy would rely on advanced defense systems like Aegis and standard missile interceptors to counter these threats. The SM-6, particularly its upgraded Block 1B variant, has been tested extensively to defend against incoming missiles, reinforcing carrier protection. These systems are deployed on at least 60 American ships, emphasizing the Navy's preparedness for missile-based attacks. The growing capability of China's missiles to damage or potentially sink U.S. warships has heightened concerns. While the United States maintains a qualitative edge, China's ability to challenge this dominance through innovative missile technology highlights the escalating naval competition in the region. With the stakes rising, the South China Sea remains a critical flashpoint in the rivalry between these two global powers. China's drone technology may surpass that of the United States, with advanced capabilities suggesting its unmanned aerial vehicles could potentially overwhelm an American aircraft carrier through coordinated swarm tactics. This analysis highlights China's rapid progress in drone development, potentially reshaping future military strategies and challenges. China showcased its drones publicly for the first time during the National Day Parade in 2009. By 2011, the country had already amassed over 280 UAVs capable of various missions, including surveillance, precision strikes, and electronic warfare, according to a report by the Project 2049 Institute. Since then, China has likely expanded its drone fleet significantly, with advanced technology that could rival or surpass U.S. capabilities, says Ian Easton, the report's lead author. Easton notes that Chinese drones resemble American models like the Predator and Global Hawk, likely due to cyber espionage efforts targeting U.S. technology. However, China's domestic research and development infrastructure also plays a crucial role in advancing their UAV systems. Easton emphasizes that Chinese military journals and official documents reveal a strategy to use drones in high-intensity warfare, envisioning swarm attacks on U.S. aircraft carriers with decoy drones followed by strike drones. While the U.S. has primarily used drones for reconnaissance and counterterrorism in regions like the Middle East, China is focusing on their use in conventional warfare scenarios. Their strategy involves using drones to dominate large-scale conflicts, showcasing their technological ambitions in modern military tactics. Easton explains that nearly every aerospace company in China is involved in developing UAVs, unlike other military tools, which are often limited to a few companies in specific regions. This broad involvement gives China's drone industry a massive scale, potentially enabling quicker innovation than the U.S. can achieve. He suggests that while the U.S. may not worry about China surpassing its submarines or fighter jets, UAVs are different. China's organized and expansive drone programs could lead to significant advancements in innovative weapon systems. In response to the growing UAV threat, the U.S. Navy is advancing toward deploying Helios, an advanced laser weapon designed to counter rising threats like drone swarms and anti-ship missiles. Developed by Lockheed Martin, Helios can unleash over 60 kilowatts of laser energy at targets up to 5 miles away. Installed on upgraded Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, it not only strengthens ship defenses, but also fills gaps in surveillance and counterintelligence. Rick Cordereau of Lockheed Martin emphasized Helios's role in enhancing combat readiness, protecting sailors, and laying the groundwork for future laser weapon advancements. As part of the Navy's laser family of systems, this technology represents a significant leap forward. For 2023, the Navy requested $35 million to expand these laser capabilities, with plans to integrate them for operational use at sea. Helios offers unlimited ammunition and cost efficiency compared to traditional missiles and Gatling guns, which are expensive and require frequent reloading. These attributes make it especially effective against inexpensive drones and small attack boats. However, its functionality is limited by weather conditions and line-of-sight targeting, necessitating conventional weapons for larger or long-range threats. Despite these limitations, Helios is a breakthrough in naval defense, tackling modern challenges in a way that reduces costs and improves efficiency compared to current systems. It marks a crucial step in the Navy's mission to safeguard its fleet against evolving threats. The report, Navy Shipboard Lasers, Background and Issues for Congress, highlights China's extensive stockpile of UAVs and anti-ship missiles with the capacity to produce more. This poses a costly challenge for the U.S. Navy to defend against effectively. Tristan Sauer, a global data analyst, explains that targeting and countering potential swarms of small drones or vessels is a key concern. As drones increasingly integrate with manned systems, even resource-limited countries can deploy them on battlefields. laser weapons offer an affordable solution with low-cost shots and nearly unlimited ammunition to counter such threats. Russia's invasion of Ukraine buttresses the challenges of limited munitions, as defense companies face production issues and supply chain disruptions. In contrast, lasers require minimal energy for significant impact, making them invaluable in sustained conflicts. Earlier laser systems, like the AN/SEQ-3 laws, tested on the USS Ponce, struggled with tiny targets and were not mass-produced due to operational challenges. However, its replacement, Helios, shows great promise for modern naval defenses. This advanced defense system targets drones and small boats using an adjustable infrared laser beam. It can destroy targets or disable sensors with precision, and its low cost per shot, requiring only energy instead of traditional ammunition, makes it highly efficient. LOAS can temporarily blind or distract with low power, or destroy explosives and motors with high power. It can neutralize drones in seconds and disable boats by targeting motors, prioritizing platform damage over harming personnel. Developed with an $11 million contract in 2010, LOAS uses radar to track and engage targets. Installed on the USS Ponce in 2014 for trials, it demonstrated the potential to counter drones, boats, and even small aircraft. LAWS focuses 6 welding lasers for a combined power output of up to 50 kilowatts, with future models expected to reach 100 kilowatts. This system is cheap to operate, costing about $1 per shot compared to expensive missiles. Though envisioned for short-range defense, its applications are expanding. Testing aboard the USS Ponce in the Persian Gulf evaluated its performance against environmental challenges like humidity, heat, and saltwater. The Navy sees LAWS as a pivotal step toward advanced marine laser weaponry. The LAWS can adjust its power to either send a harmless warning beam or deliver a destructive blast. Though its range is secret, it is effective against threats like Iran's small boats in the Strait of Hormuz, even though it wasn't built for any specific adversary. Fully operational since 2014, the system defends against drones, helicopters, and boats while following international rules prohibiting targeting humans. LAWS is cost-efficient, with shots costing just $0.59 compared to missiles. Powered by a diesel generator separate from the ship, it uses commercial laser components and special Navy software. Mounted on the USS Ponce, it doubles as a surveillance tool, earning comparisons to the Hubble telescope. Sailors trained on it daily with video game-like controls, making it user-friendly. It performed reliably in harsh conditions like humidity and dust storms. Its strong performance encouraged the Navy to consider equipping other ships, and it remained on the USS Ponce throughout its deployment. After reviewing different ships for space, power, and cooling capabilities, the Navy decided to move the LAWS system to the USS Portland following the USS Ponce's decommissioning in 2018. While it was mounted on the deck, LAWS wasn't fully integrated into the ship's defense systems, as it was still in the testing phase. However, LAWS faced limitations, such as slow charging capacitors and difficulties in combining lasers. These issues were addressed with the introduction of Helios, which was designed to provide a more reliable and efficient laser weapon system. In 2018, the Navy contracted Lockheed Martin to develop 2 Helios units, one for the USS Arleigh Burke and one for land testing. Unlike earlier models, Helios uses the ship's existing power for continuous operation, which eliminates the need for external energy sources. The new Helios system offers key improvements, such as more powerful lasers capable of reaching up to 50 kilowatts, compared to LAWS's 30 kilowatts. It is integrated into the ship alongside the Aegis weapon system, modernizing both systems. It features advanced spectral beam, combining fiber lasers that offer better beam quality and can effectively target fast-moving objects at greater distances. Additionally, Helios includes the optical dazzling interdictor navy, which disrupts enemy sensors by targeting electro-optical and infrared systems. This technology is integrated into the ship's command and control system, offering a significant advantage. Along with its defensive and dazzling capabilities, Helios also serves surveillance functions, though specifics on these are still under wraps. The Helios system is designed to handle multiple missions, including surveillance, with its capabilities continuing to grow as the Navy refines tactics and procedures through at-sea operations. The exact use of the weapon at sea remains unclear, and while Lockheed Martin did not confirm if it will be deployed on other ships, they stated it can be adapted for different vessels and combat systems. The Navy tested another laser weapon on the USS Portland in 2023, successfully disabling a drone. Following this, Helios underwent land-based testing in Virginia and is now ready for installation, with at-sea tests beginning in 2023. These trials will offer critical insights for future developments. The next challenge will be fully integrating the system into the Navy's layered defense strategy. Integrating a laser system into a ship and its combat system is vital for effective directed energy warfare. The system must be designed to work seamlessly within the ship's existing infrastructure, such as the Aegis combat system on Arleigh Burke-class destroyers. It should fit the ship's space, weight, and power limits while functioning as part of a layered defense strategy. While the laser system is tailored for Arleigh Burke-class ships, it can be adapted to other vessels or combat systems due to its scalable and modular design. The system's power can be increased to as much as 120 kilowatts, depending on the ship's capabilities, allowing it to be installed on future ships like the Constellation-class frigates or the next-generation guided missile destroyer. This flexibility is critical as the Navy explores ways to expand its use of laser weapon systems. The Navy is the most likely starting point for deploying laser weapons in the U.S. military because naval ships already have significant energy resources. However, there are challenges in fitting the system on smaller ships, which face space and power limitations. This poses a unique challenge as the technology evolves and must be adapted to various platforms. The development of laser systems in the U.S. military comes at a time when global competitors are also advancing their own laser technologies. While China and Russia do not yet have advanced laser systems on par with the U.S., experts believe lasers could become more common in the coming years. Mick Ryan from the Center for Strategic and International Studies noted that although laser systems are being installed on ships now, it will likely take more time to see their use on land-based systems. In the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, Russia has claimed to use an experimental laser system, Zadira, but its effectiveness is unclear. There is skepticism about the real impact of Russia's claims, as the country often exaggerates its technological capabilities. Nevertheless, the use of unmanned aerial systems in the conflict is expected to drive progress in laser and other advanced technologies. This development could potentially influence how lasers are integrated into future military operations worldwide. As the U.S. continues to develop and refine laser technology, its rivals are likely to pursue similar advancements. However, the adaptability and modularity of the Helios system give the U.S. Navy a significant edge in future naval defense, ensuring that its lasers remain relevant and effective in countering emerging threats. The U.S. Air Force also plans to expand its fleet of collaborative combat aircraft, autonomous drones designed to operate alongside advanced fighter jets. Andrew Hunter, the Air Force's acquisition chief, announced the purchase of additional CCAs for an experimental operations unit tasked with creating strategies and procedures for using these drones in real missions. CCAs can handle tasks like striking targets, surveillance, and signal jamming, complementing F-35s and the next-generation air dominance fighter. Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall emphasized that CCAs should cost a fraction of an F-35, which is priced at $80 to $100 million. Contracts awarded in April to General Atomics and Endural Industries focus on designing, building, and testing the first batch of CCAs. Future, more advanced versions of these drones are expected to follow as development continues. The initiative highlights the Air Force's commitment to integrating autonomous systems into modern warfare. Before collaborative combat aircraft are fully integrated into Air Force squadrons, the military needs to refine how they will be controlled and operate in combat. The Air Force's Experimental Operations Unit is collaborating with international allies like Australia, which has worked on Boeing's Ghostbat drone for several years. Having actual CCAs to experiment with is key to developing these tactics, Andrew Hunter said. The Air Force will acquire Anduril's Fury and General Atomics Gambit CCAs for testing, though exact numbers and timelines are unclear. Hunter emphasized the importance of speeding up production while planning for cost-effective manufacturing and long-term maintenance. Airworthiness standards for CCAs are being rethought since these drones don't carry pilots and are designed to be affordable. Hunter explained this shift, noting that traditional airworthiness standards won't always apply. Both General Atomics and Enduro recently passed critical design reviews, signaling readiness for the next development phase. Colonel Timothy Helfrich confirmed these milestones at a recent aerospace event. Flight tests for CCAs are scheduled for 2025, where their affordability and ability to complete assigned missions will be evaluated. Success in these tests will mark a significant step toward deploying these advanced autonomous systems in real-world operations. Thanks for watching. While you are still here, click on the link on your screen to check out another of our videos. See you there.